Mr. Morgan is followed by Mr. Jeffrey Radcliffe Robinson. Let's keep the applause going. Let's keep the applause going. Come on, 30 years. 30 years. And Mr. Robinson is followed by Mr. Norman Aloysius Sanford. Who is followed by Mr. Clive Roy Sangster. I must say the 30 years award recipients are looking no older than 30. They are doing something right. We welcome Mr. Glenhugh Fitzroy Scott. Followed by Mr. O'Neill Anthony Stewart. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. 30 years. Mr. Stewart is followed by Mr. Maurice Sylvester Stevens. We welcome Mr. Patrick Winston Taylor. Followed by Mr. Gary Fitzroy Thomas. Who is followed by Mr. Constantine Rudolph Thompson. Mr. Errol Vivian Thompson. Now I want to ensure that I get this correctly, so I'm going to try. Londimon Lolia Thompson. I hope I got that correctly. Mr. Thompson is followed by Mr. Norris Raymond Virtue. Let's welcome the gentleman of virtue, 30 years. Let's welcome Mr. Patrick Anthony Walker. Working with the department for 30 years. Well done. Mr. Wayne Anthony Walker. We welcome Mr. Rowan Valentine Wallace. As some would say, Rohan. He's followed by Mr. Oliver Ferdinand Walters. Let's welcome Mr. Eric Floyd Watkins. St. Catherine, we're here for St. Catherine. As Superintendent Campbell would say, he's the man. He's followed by Mr. Dennis Carl Waysome. And now we have Mr. Winston Augustus Williams. Come on, let's give it up for Mr. Williams. Come on, 30 years. And the final name for me in this category is Laurel Anthony Wright. Come on, 30-year awardee, final name. That's right. She needs some support. Give it up, give it up, give it up. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, I extend my congratulations to all awardees, but especially those whose names I was privileged to have announced.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Thank you very much, sir. Human life has no meaning only to that degree, and as long as it is lived in the service of humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, let us make welcome our officers who have served for 40 years. That is indeed a big deal. 40 years of service to the Department of Correctional Services is definitely a big deal. I invite Miss Natalie Campbell-Bennett, Director HRM, to call the names, and also Ms. Nikisha Walters from the Office of the Services Commission to assist. Thank you very much. Make her welcome as she comes. Also, we will be calling the retirees also. Big, big deal. Thank you.
Good afternoon, colleagues and friends. This is indeed a milestone. It's not 4 years. Neither is it 14. But we're celebrating with the recipients of 40-year award. Let us pause for the applause. Let us pause for the applause.
Ladies and gentlemen.
As we welcome
Ladies
on
and gentlemen.
stage
In the house.
Albert
None other.
Donovan Brown.
Yes, indeed. Master Brown. Yes. Superintendent.
What a milestone this is indeed.
Director of Security.
40 years. Congratulations. Let us pause again for the applause. Thank
40
you.
years and standing strong.
At this time, I will go right into the names of our officers that have served us and served us well. And they have since retired. Let us put our hands together as we welcome Clement, Constantine, Bailey. Followed by Harold Stephen Bennett. Followed by Mr. Marcus Clive Campbell.
What's her name?
Up next, we have Perlina Lilith Coleman Shuttlewood. However, this award will be collected by Mr. Shuttlewood on our behalf. And guess what? Together, both of them have served 66 years. Clap them, that's a big deal. We have Miss Sharon Veronica Cooper. It's a big deal. Put your hands together. We have none other than Alvin Rodney Da Costa Gale.
Former Director of Security. Yes,
Security.
Indeed, indeed, indeed.
Put the hands up, clap your hands for him. Followed by Mr. Selvin Antonio Jones. Clap him, clap him, clap him. Mr. Jones have served us well.
Yes, sir, George.
We have next Mr. Dwight Odwin Kelly. Woo! It's a big deal.
Mega deal, mega deal. I've never seen this man without a hat on his head.
Big energy in the
Yes,
place.
man. Indeed. Thank you very much, Ms. Walters. Thank you very much for your service, ma'am. We appreciate it. Allow me to now invite Ms. Jacqueline Mendez, Chief Personnel Officer in the Office of the Services Commission. Please, ma'am, could you assist us in handing out to these distinguished persons we have here? Please make her welcome.
As we continue the awardees that have served us well, put your hands together for none other than Raymond Charles Latibodier, St. Catherine.
Public service announcement. If you have some nice furnishing in your house or you need some to be made,
Go,
you
Mr.
can make
Lati.
contact
That's
with
what they're
Lati Bodier.
cheering.
He will have it made for you.
Followed by the one and only Herbert Lincoln McFarlane, former superintendent of St. Catherine. Where's the big energy in the house? Where's the big energy in the house? We have next Mr. Earl Roy McCleary. Listen, Mr. McCleary is our in-house photographer for years. Let's give it up for Mr. McCleary.
And please note that he also served for 40 long years.
Woo!
Yes, 40 long years indeed.
We now recognize Mr. Dalman Glasspole Moulton. Hands together. Continue, Shakira. Continue. They'll follow suit. They'll follow suit. We now welcome Mr. Peter Atkinson Rodwell. Hands together for Mr. Rodwell. And last but by no means the least, put your hands together as we welcome Thaddeus Michael Simpson. It's not highlighted. Oh. All right, so we have an award as well for Mrs. Allison Elaine Turner Campbell, which will be collected by Mrs. Kira Lee Gail Pinnock. Put your hands together. Congratulations again to all the awardees. Well done.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. At this time, as the awardees representative is getting ready to present, ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to put your hands together for our cheerer extraordinaire, Shakira Farad. At this time, I invite Mr. Alvin Gale. He will do the awardees expression.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Alvin Gale.
Thank you, Masters of Ceremony. Honorable Xavier Meade, Minister of State, Minister of National Security, Ms. Joy Stone, Deputy Commissioner of Correction Custodial Services, Dr. Mark Thomas, Deputy Commissioner of Corrections, Rehabilitation, and Probation Aftercare Services, Mistress Althea Davis, Senior Director, Human Resource Management and Administration, special invited guests, other members of the DCS, and friends, good afternoon. I feel honored to reply on behalf of the awardees, ranging from 10 to 40 years, and those persons are currently serving, to include retirees whose services seems as if it cannot be numbered. Many, many years. As rewardees, we are very grateful to be considered at this time for recognition of our services to Jamaica through this noble department, Correctional Services. We appreciate the token received, and they will serve as a reminder to us. To the retirees, let us continue to enjoy our retirement. To the marks, we have been freed from the restriction of hours of work. We left a rich legacy in DCS which lives on, and we are very proud. To the current serving members of staff, I am imploring you to continue fly the DCS flag high so that this nation can be proud of us. I leave this scripture verse with you. This is found in Galatians 6 and verse 9. Let us not become weary in well-doing, because we shall reap if we faint not. I made mention to Mr. Martin, because I want to make sure it is appropriate to make this request. And I got a positive answer. If you notice on your program, one of our retirees, Hartnell Eccleston, who should have been here but has passed on. I want us to stand for a minute in silence in honor of Mr. Eccleston. Thank you very much. And may God bless us for the rest of the day. Thanks very much.
That was definitely an American minute and not a Jamaican minute at all. But nonetheless, we receive it in the good intent of it. Thank you so very much, Mr. Gale.
Sir Dryden, that's a retiree who wants to spend his time elsewhere.
Indeed, 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 indeed. Perfection is not attained, it's not attainable. But if we chase after perfection, we can catch excellence. Excellence is not a skill. It's an attitude. The will to win. The desire to exceed. The urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Today was indeed the hallmark of excellence as we see our officers who have worked diligently in the department. And I say, thank you all for the service that you gave.
Amen.
It would be remiss of me today not to recognize the presence of Justice Clayton, always with us. Put your hands together for Justice Clayton, always with us. Thank you very much. And equally, I must recognize Miss Sandra Ramsey, who has worked with the department in the prison services of the Food for the Poor. Thank you very much, ma'am, for being with us today. Thank you.
And welcome. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, there was once a water bearer who had two large pots. One hung on each side of his neck. One of the pots had a crack in it, but the other was perfect. And it always delivered a full portion of water at the end of the long walk from the stream to the master's house, while the cracked pot arrived only half full. For a full 2 years, this went on daily, with the bearer delivering only 1.5 pots full of water to his master's house. Of course, the perfect pot was proud of its accomplishments, perfect to the end for which it was made. But the cracked pot was very ashamed of its imperfection and was miserable that it could only do half of what it had been made to do, or so it thought. The cracked pot, after 2 years of what it perceived to be a bit of failure, spoke to the water bearer one day by the stream. I am very ashamed of myself, and I want to apologize to you. Why? Asked the water bearer. What are you ashamed of? For the past 2 years, I have only been able to deliver half of my real capacity because this crack in my side allows water to leak all the way back to the master's house. Because of my flaws, you have to do all this work and you don't get full value from your efforts, the pot said. The water bearer felt sorry for the old crackpot and compassionately said, as we return to the master's house, I want you to observe the path. As they went up the hill, the crackpot noticed that there were beautiful flowers growing along his side of the path, and this cheered it some. However, at the end of the trail, it still felt bad because, again, it had leaked half its content. It apologized The bearer said to the pot, "Did you notice that there were flowers on your side of the path, but none on the side of the perfect pot? That's because I've always known about your flaw and put it to good use. I planted flower seeds on your side of the path for the return trip. And every day while we walked back from the stream, you've watered them. For over 2 years, I've been able to pick these beautiful flowers to decorate my master's table. If you weren't the way you are, he wouldn't have had flowers for his house." Do we appreciate others for their differences, or do we insist on conformity? Do we appreciate the varied talents, the unique gifts, and different perspectives? More importantly, do we appreciate ourselves, the different cracks that distinguish us from the others, the quirky personalities, eccentric worldviews, and outlandish dreams? These cracks, ladies and gentlemen, shouldn't be viewed as thorns in our sides. These apparent flaws, though inconvenient at times, provide real opportunities to serve in real and full ways. That quirky personality of your colleague is why working long hours is manageable. Right, Shakira? That eccentric worldview by the colleague contributes to our service being all-encompassing. And that outlandish dream our colleague insistently reshare at the most inopportune times is why, as a department, we still strive to play our part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. Ladies and gentlemen, let us leave here committed to appreciating, encouraging ourselves and each other as we seek to inspire hope. Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare ourselves to leave, let me just say to our very important persons, which is all of us, but the extra VIP among us, that you'll be ushered to your tables. Your tables are on the top floor, marked reserved. And the awardees, I'm going to ask that you invite your special guests to sit with you for dining. There are seats available on the top and the bottom floor, but those marked reserved are for a VIP, and our ushers, of course, will ensure they are seated. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, one final announcement, Mr. Anderson. The meal will not be shared if we're not seated. So while we want to take pictures, let us do that after we've eaten. Thank you.
Yes, and the awardees will be serenaded when they are nicely seated by the DCS band. Let me congratulate the team that put this event together. It was well done, and not just for today, but for Corrections Week. I think we've had an excellent Corrections Week. Put your hands together and clap yourself, man, because you did a fabulous job. Thank you so very much. We're not done yet, because tomorrow is Sports Day and we know, let me just tell you, in case you don't know, Sports Day and Expo. But let me let you in on a little secret regarding Sports Day. I'm not going to be talking too loud. It's just for us inside here. Rio Cobre combined with South Camp, we are in the lead. Come catch us if you can. All right, thank you very much. It was a pleasure being with you today. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Thank you.